On June 12th, 2024, I had a nasty accident at my local skate park where I absolutely busted my left elbow and I had to undergo two critical surgeries followed by many weeks of physio and other exercises. The last 1 year was the hardest time of my life since I was going through a very rough patch at my work and also because of the accidents and the two surgeries. Now I have a big metal bolt in my arm and along with a few other spare parts. And the doctor said at the time of the surgery that my hand would never fully recover and that I would always have a 10 to 20% bend in my arm. However, I feel that as you can see, my recovery was much better. I still have a dent in my elbow and my ligaments haven't healed very well, but I have a functional arm, it looks like, and I feel much better now and confident than I was feeling a year ago. In this video, I'm going to share a 5-step plan for recovery and how you could use it to get yourself out of a fatal injury. Please remember, this is not medical advice and should not be considered as an alternative to medical treatment. Step number 1, make a recovery plan with your own research. For me, especially after the surgery, I reached out to the doctors a couple of times to ask them if they have any suggested recovery plan to heal my bones better and ligaments better. But I did not get any response. They just said, just eat whatever you're eating, or no, there's no suggested food like that. And I was shocked to hear that from coming from a doctor that they said, we cannot give you any nutritional advice or any dietary advice on how to recover faster. So if you have the financial means and if you could afford to hire a dietitian, you could do that as well. But if not, then YouTube's your dietitian, internet's your dietitian, right? Now you can find any information you need from your phone. So be your own dietitian and make your own diet recovery plan, because your mind eats first and then your body eats. So your brain has to be convinced that every single meal that you have from now on is going to work towards your recovery. Your brain would not feel the same when you're having french fries or when you're having chips or if you're having sandwiches, because we very well know that that's fast food, and your brain and your body and your cells are not just going to accept that food as recovery food. So you have to do some research and you convince your brain, and you have to totally believe that the food that you are now eating is going to contribute towards your recovery. And for that to happen, it has to be significantly different than what you were eating before. So make a recovery plan for yourself. For me, it was including grains such as ragi, which is very important for healing bones. Eating a lot of calcium, eating a lot of boiled eggs, the egg whites, having protein regularly, and not just in a powdered form, but all types of proteins. Having gelatin to heal your ligaments faster, and that could include having some foods that you've never had before, like um, goat feet soup or beef feet soup, or something that's pretty gelatinous, or pork feet soup, pork bone soup, that can heal your bones faster. So do your own research and make your own diet plan. So every cell of your body is in that recovery mode and is active and is attentive when you're recovering. If you eat the same food, your body is not going to get that wake up call. So make a recovery plan and stick to it. Keep a journal of your diet plans and then make sure you're following it, and set recovery goals for yourself. If you have, let's say, a broken leg, then set recovery goals to when you will be able to do a certain task. I don't know what's your situation, that's why I'm not being specific. but you could set your own recovery goals based on your situation. Step number two, meditate. Since I just mentioned that your mind has to believe it first for your body to go there. Your mind has to take that action first. So meditate on believing that you're already in good health. Meditate on eliminating that negative energy that you accumulate from sitting home at and basically being a couch potato when you are recovering, or a bed potato if that's a word, when you're recovering. So meditate every day so you can flush out those negative thoughts that build up throughout the day, and might also come from watching some content and some extra content, that is because now you have nothing to do. So meditate every day and breathe in as much as fresh air as possible, and flush out those negative emotions along with the air that you breathe out. Meditate at least an hour every day, maybe 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. And 15 minutes of it you could do uh, like restoring your mental status, or restoring your mental health to wherever you want it to be, flushing out those negative emotions, breathing exercises. And the next 15 minutes you can dream of having a healthier hand, if that's what you're recovering, or your foot, or your whatever. Meditating makes you believe in things that have not already happened. This type of meditating, this is focused meditating, that you keep one thought in mind, which is recovery, and then visualize yourself already being there. Visualize yourself already recovered and doing the things that you always wanted to do, or were already doing. And your body will get there faster. If your mind is already dreaming about it, your body will follow eventually. So meditate 1 hour every day. First 15 minutes is to flush out the negative energies or the negative thoughts that have built up, and the next 15 minutes is to visualize a healthier self of yourself. Step number three is keep moving. Mobility is so important for your mental health to be in the right spot. If you're cooped up in a room, if you're cooped up inside the house, it's just going to build up on you. And taking action is going to become harder and harder every single day that passes by. So start moving from the first day if possible. Start resuming your daily activities as much as possible. Don't get back to work, but I'm just saying at least move around. Okay? Don't, might be hard. I know it will be very hard. But get into that habit. Do the hard things in the beginning so your recovery is faster, and you have relief in the long run. I truly believe if I wouldn't have stretched this hand to the fullest in the first 3 months, I think my hand will have eventually locked at this point, or at this position, due to rigor mortis, or I don't know, I don't want to call it rigor mortis, but something similar. That since it's a recovery and the recovery would happen eventually, it's better to stretch it out before the recovery itself. Well, again, I'm not saying this is medical advice, this is what helped me and worked for me. So to each is their own. So please take this with caution. So keep moving though. Even if you're not moving the broken arm, the broken limb, keep up with your other type of mobility. Like when my arm was broke, and I was 2 3 weeks into the surgery. I was playing sports like badminton, which you could just barely stand on the spot, and all you do is just toss the shuttle around with a partner. And I was playing things like bowling, where I would you all you need is one hand, and you need to bend, and it takes a few other motions to do that bowling, but this hand could still be still in a cast. So try being getting into sports like that. Of course, you can get into mental sports as well, such as, I don't know, computer gaming or playing chess, Monopoly, board games. But you need to engage your body as well. So play games which will mildly engage your body. Our bodies are machines, are natural machines. And if you don't use them for a while, they will catch rust. Their grease will freeze up. Their oil will get dark. So keep your bodies moving, especially when your mind is in a dark place and you've just gone through an accident. Nothing will feel better than you being able to move. So keep moving. Of course, be careful. Okay, take some time off, but start to move. Step number 4, take up a new hobby, join a new course, or start a new activity, a brand new activity that you've never done before. This is also towards an effort towards keeping yourself busy, but it will also give you a positive take on that injury. Since let's say you've got some time off work, or let's say you're taking half days at work, the other time you should invest in learning something new. What this will do is this will change your perspective at looking at that accident, and it will give you less regrets, it will give you less frustration, and it will block out all those negative emotions that you would either leave open to, because an empty mind is a devil's home or a devil's worship. So give that mind to do something, and nothing is better than teaching something new which you like, and getting that positive dopamine out of that activity that will keep you from blocking those negative thoughts all the time. So learn something new that you always wanted to. I always wanted to get into like editing videos. So when I had an accident, in my free time I learned editing videos. You could basically find anything you want on YouTube. Of course, you have to put it through a lens of your self review and self understanding. But as far as knowledge and information goes, we have no limits right now. So get into it. Okay, get into something that you always wanted to do when you have the time, and you're maybe not in the right set of mind, but this will just take your mind off of it. I focused on painting again. Even though my hand was in a cast, I could still use some of my fingers to like hold the paper and hold a few other things that I wanted minorly. But since I'm right-handed, I could do paintings, and I went from being a very basic drawer to doing something like this. I don't know how well you can see with the reflections. This. I think I'm doing pretty well, right? I think I'm doing pretty good. Those were with oil pastels, and this is with real paint. So you never know where this would take you. So learn something new to take a new perspective on your injury and block out all those negative thoughts. Step number 5. This might be the hardest one, but it's a bit of a continuation to the step number 4, is stop looking at your accident as an accident and start perceiving as an opportunity to do something better. Maybe you just took a couple of steps back, but maybe that was just to take a leap, a stronger leap, a faster leap, a longer leap. So turn your accident into an opportunity. And how you could do that is if you're able to monetize step number 4, if you're able to monetize your hobby, if you're able to monetize something that you have really liked, and now you have the time to do it, and you've done it, and then you're now monetizing it. Let's say you were really good at cooking, and you started to cook in this time and you became good at it, and you want to continue it, monetize it somehow. If you cannot monetize it in literal sense around you, start making videos of it and post it on social media and post it on YouTube and create a business out of that. Maybe design a course. I think that's something really popular right now, where people are looking for alternative sources of learning rather than going to a school or a class. So make a course of whatever you know. All of us know something unique. So design a course around that, write a book on it, make an ebook on it, make some entertaining and educational videos on it, and post them and see where they goes. If you're able to take a vacation, that will also be an amazing step number 5. Take your time off, go travel, and this will also pump you with confidence back and again that you're not really missing out on life even though you're in this accident. Be safe, okay? Take all the precautions, carry your medications, um, take all the safety measures, use help, don't solo travel. This is this is not a time to solo travel. So go with a group or a partner, but always know that you have some help around with you, and take a vacation. And vacation doesn't mean that you have to go to Hawaii or you have to go to Tulum. You can just book an interesting Airbnb, a tree house, a hut somewhere, a house on a lake for a week, and just go chill there. Work from there if you have internet connection. This will change your outlook on how you see and perceive your accident. Much like how we, a lot of us, perceive the pandemic to be. Initially, for the first 1 2 years, it was destructive. It was destructive in many ways, but now looking back at it in retrospect, a lot of people did a lot of nice things, and we really saw a different side of the world in pandemic. As a learning curve, I'm not just putting it in a box of good or bad, but just in the box of what you could learn from this incident, and how many people, including me, learned that alternative income is so important in today's world. And everything online just boomed during COVID, right? Like especially like a year after COVID, all the service industry that we see in right now, and the app industry and the online platforms, how much diversification and how much variety have we seen in these online platforms for good. So every adversity has an innate advantage hidden in it. So the sooner you identify this advantage in your adversity, the faster you'll be on that progress track to, achieving that advantage and taking benefit of it. So you can use this perspective for everything else in life as well, not just for recovering from an accident. Any adversity, look at it as an advantage to do something else, because there definitely is more than 50% advantage in every single opportunity. I mean, in every single adversity. So take your steps of advantage and reach, like, do the things you always wanted to do in this time that you have available on hand. So if you want to share your own story of recovery, or if you have any questions, comments, please post them down below, and don't hesitate to reach out. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.